I'm not that nervous. Like, still got a little like, ooh, but all right, if the question comes, I'm gonna be there to answer it. Like, I've already done this too many times to even be too worried about it.
Don't step that way. Here. Don't step that way. Or you fight more that way. Hey, what's still fast? Love that one. Love that block up. Mario Barrios is a hell of a puncher. He's very explosive, dangerous hook. Very dangerous. Everybody know that hook gonna knock a buffalo out. It's just the truth. It's just the truth. Yeah. He probably threw a hook more like mine than anybody seen. Yeah. He got that one punch shock on that left hook. Deadly. And then he understands how to throw it. So yeah, that's where he is.
This is a much different version of myself, as you can see in my energy. And, you could see, how taking care of your body, being a real athlete and showing a good example, you're going to see that this fight.
Ryan Garcia is dialing in his devastating signature left hook during camp, while Roy Jones Jr. fine-tunes his timing and precision, sharpening every detail as they prepare for the high-stakes Mario Barrios showdown.
Camp, we've been keeping it pretty with the same kind of pattern. We wake up around 8:30, and then head to the, strength and conditioning gym. We lift weights, we do, conditioning drills, sprints, all that stuff. Then we take a minor, 10-minute break, and then we head to, boxing.
Today we're here strengthening, conditioning, fine-tuning for the last stretch. Make sure that the body feels right and that we are strong. Keep that pace, keep that pace. 30 seconds. Last 30 seconds. Attaboy.
Roy Jones Jr. demonstrates textbook left hook technique, stressing balance, precise timing, strong hip rotation, and proper guard position, while emphasizing an explosive yet controlled delivery to generate maximum power and accuracy without sacrificing defensive responsibility. Roy Jones Jr. praises Ryan Garcia for his devastating left hook, calling him an incredible puncher who possesses one of the finest hooks in all of boxing. Roy Jones Jr. explains that boxing is fundamentally built on technique rather than conditioning alone, noting that a fighter relying only on stamina might survive a few rounds, but true technical skill is what carries a boxer safely to the final bell.
Easy with technique. So they would have technique, like you have a lot of guys that would have technique, but they wouldn't be conditioned. So they come to the ring, they look good for a few rounds, then they die off. The better conditioned guy win the fight. So what started happening was a lot of guys that had technique were getting beat by guys that didn't have the same technique, but had better conditioning. So what happens? Boxing transitioned from a skill sport to a better conditioning sport. So now, people forget about technique, but they work on more on condition. Condition becomes the power.
Ryan Garcia admits he lacked focus in previous years, acknowledging that too much time was lost to partying and outside distractions that pulled his attention away from boxing.
Suspension, it was much different circumstances. I was coming off a suspension, and during that suspension, I was drinking and partying and doing whatever I want for all the way through until they told me that I had to fight. My instincts told me not to. My body wasn't well, it had a lot of toxins in it, as you can imagine. A lot of stupid shit I did. But when you have a lot of people in your ear and people are telling you can make $5 million, it's an easy fight, and you know, but you know internally that it's not the right decision, and I didn't trust my heart and didn't trust my instincts, and I paid the price for it.
So you say that you knew that it was not the right thing to do. Was there a moment in training camp or the week of the fight where you thought, man, I really think I might lose?
Oh, every day. Really? Every day.
Now he feels disciplined and fully motivated, surrounded by the right people who guide his decisions, keep him accountable, and help him stay locked in on his goals.
I'm gonna have to lose 30 pounds, remember how to box, and try to get sharp all in 2 months. And I don't even know how my body's gonna react. And it wasn't reacting. Every 2 days, it would just shut down. Runs didn't feel right. Nothing felt correct as it should. And I'm not blaming anybody. You come to find out, you know, whatever was happening in the Haney fight, it will never be replicated again. You can't do that. I still don't know to this
That was
day
crazy, yeah.
how I was able to drink and do whatever I wanted and somehow still win. I just wanted to make a mockery of Devin Haney.
Roy Jones Jr. praises Ryan Garcia, calling him a highly talented fighter who brings excitement every time he steps into the ring and makes any bout compelling, no matter the opponent.
You take your head off to that kid because he's one that's out there doing like what I used to. He's fighting them all. He don't care who they are, where they are. He get paid for it, he'll fight. And that's a beautiful thing. That is what boxing has to be. That's it. And so it's like, I don't care who he fights. It's going to be an instant fight, and he has a chance to beat anybody.
Chris Algieri explains that every situation in boxing carries its own nuances, and Ryan Garcia's case is especially unique. He stresses that the fighter-trainer dynamic is shaped more by personality than culture, noting that while family pairings have worked, such as Robert Garcia training his father, or Roy Jones Jr. with his own father, clashes can arise when strong personalities collide. Algieri points out that Ryan's father is known for a strong personality, much like Ryan himself, making their collaboration unpredictable. However, when personalities align, as seen with Floyd Mayweather Jr. and his uncle Roger Mayweather, extraordinary results can follow.
I think every case is its own, every case is unique, and Ryan is especially unique. Champ, you mentioned the cultural versus personality. I think it's much more personality than culture, because we've seen culturally it work with Mexican father-son duos. I mean, we have Robert Garcia here, his father trained him and Mikey Garcia. It worked, you know, and then you've got, you know, even like Roy Jones versus Floyd Mayweather. Roy Jones's father, you know, butting heads. You know, Floyd and his father butting heads. Uncle worked out great. Roger and Floyd worked out beautifully. But the fathers, they hit heads together. Then you got, even today, you got Naoya Inoue and his father. His father's fantastic. Trains both him and his brother, and to great success. And it seems like doesn't seem like there's much friction there, at least that we've seen. So I don't think it's so much.
Chris Algieri notes that in recent times Ryan Garcia has struggled with discipline, coaching stability, and structured training, observing that Ryan often favors informal workouts in his living room surrounded by distractions instead of maintaining a consistent gym routine. The hope, he explains, is that Ryan's father can help redirect him by reinstating a more traditional training approach, one that Ryan previously thrived under. Algieri believes that if they can reconcile their strong personalities and draw strength from their shared history, Ryan has the potential to rediscover his former elite level, concluding that while challenges remain, the right guidance could make a significant difference in Ryan's boxing journey.
Lean back on their history, to which case Ryan could actually perform at a very high level again. In recent form, Ryan has had a lot of trouble with coaching. Listening to what he's going to do, showing up to the gym, he'd rather train. It seems like in his living room, you know, wearing sweatpants and you know, whoever's around with influencers. Maybe his father can crack him out of that and get him back to a more traditional training style like we've seen him in the past when he was on a really good run at some point. You know, at a point a few years ago where he looked like he really could take over, and then things kind of fell off. So possibly the father-son duo this time could work once again, because it has worked in the past.
When you look at this, all we need now is a coach with some experience. Oh, we have Coach Robert Garcia. What's the secret sauce here? Is there one? Is it about knowing when to be dad and when to be coach? Is there a secret here? Is it just, as the guys have pointed out, a matter of personality?
Analysts point to a critical tactical flaw in Ryan Garcia that could significantly affect his upcoming fight against Mario Barrios, noting that while Ryan's talent is undeniable, his recent performances have raised serious concerns. Despite his skill set and strong marketability, he recently suffered a loss that many critics believe should have showcased greater tactical maturity. The growing worry is that flashy appeal and commercial presence do not always translate into consistent ring IQ or strategic excellence when it matters most.
That's Tank Davis, elite level counterpuncher. That's Luke Campbell, Olympic gold medalist. They're much more talented fighters than Mario Barrios. But then I take you to his most recent outing, and he lost this fight. It's the reason people are like, how on earth does he have a world title shot in his next fight? Well, that's what being good looking in a massive commercial pool does for you. But I take you to the Rolly Romero fight, and Romero is okay, but he's not an elite level fighter in my opinion, but he was someone who had sparred a lot of rounds with Ryan Garcia and understood Ryan Garcia as a fighter. And again, he shows you the way here with effective counterpunching and isolating those weaknesses of Ryan Garcia. So what you'll see here in the Romero fight, and what I really like about Rolly here, is that he's not afraid of Ryan Garcia rushing him. And Ryan Garcia wants to do what Ryan Garcia does. Those things we explained before. He likes to press the action. And it's early in the fight. And this made him so apprehensive for the rest of the fight that he lost. As you can see, Ryan Garcia, he steps into the pocket here. And even though Ryan Garcia is right in front of him, Rolly knows Ryan's probably looking for that lead hook.
Looking at Ryan Garcia's bout with Roy Romero highlights this tactical concern. Although Romero wasn't considered an elite fighter, his extensive sparring with Ryan gave him deep insight into Garcia's tendencies, allowing him to effectively counter Ryan's attacks and exploit weaknesses in his style. Ryan's typical strategy of pressing forward and dictating the pace played directly into Romero's hands. Early in the fight, Ryan's aggression was met with tight defense and smart counterpunching, leaving him hesitant for the remainder of the bout. Romero's discipline and defensive positioning were particularly notable. He kept his hands tight at his chin and maintained a solid stance with strong leg positioning, successfully neutralizing Ryan's favored lead hook. This example underscores that without adaptability and strategic discipline, Ryan's natural aggression can be turned against him, presenting a serious risk when facing a calculated opponent like Mario Barrios.
I feel like that culminated in the Romero fight because Ryan Garcia was expected to beat Rolly Romero. He's not seen as being the best operator out there, Rolly Romero. And I guess it shows you that a fighter who's not even top level can exploit Ryan Garcia with the right game plan. So can Mario Barrios do it? And what can Ryan Garcia do about it? Can he change? Can he fix these problems? Well, even though I don't think he's particularly consistent with his counter-punching Barrios, he has shown in moments he can do it. And so if Ryan Garcia remains the same, I think there's a chance he can execute this. I'll show you in this fight here against Akhmedov, when Barrios was down at super lightweight. Watch here. So he steps in with the jab, which misses. Akhmedov then returns with his own backhand, which Barrios pulls back from. And then in that moment, you can see his right hand here is away from his chin, a la Ryan Garcia, I suppose you could say. Barrios catches him with a counter left hook, which is the exact position that Ryan Garcia has been a little bit weakened, and he touches down there, Akhmedov. Against Ugas, we see him land a nice counter jab here as Ugas fires his jab. He catches it, throws his own jab up.
Tim Bradley breaks down the upcoming fight between Ryan Garcia and Mario Barrios, highlighting key dynamics that could shape the outcome. He points out that Barrios' coach, Gu Sin, provides a significant advantage, having studied Garcia's tendencies and vulnerabilities, which could allow Barrios to exploit weaknesses while maximizing his own strengths. Bradley emphasizes that Barrios is a well-rounded fighter, not elite in a single area, but competent across multiple aspects, including counterpunching, fighting off the back foot, slipping punches, and seamlessly combining blocks with quick counters.
The things I want to start off with, the coach, Goosen's in Barrios' corner. That's going to be interesting in the sense that fact that Goosen knows Ryan Garcia. He knows his Achilles heel, man. He knows it. And, Goosen knows he has a horse that is not only tough, but he's well-rounded. Mario Barrios can fight a little bit, fight off the back foot a little bit. He can do a little bit of everything. Counter punch, slip counters, block and shoot, catch and shoots. Like he got a bag. He does. He's average in every single department. Got a really good jab, a hell of a right hand, man. That right hand is gonna be money for him in this fight. I would also say the left hook, to be honest with you. I think one of the most ironic things about Ryan Garcia is you never want to hook with a hooker, but as I follow the evolution of him in his craft.
Bradley notes that Mario Barrios possesses a solid jab, a powerful right hand, and a reliable left hook, making him a consistent threat throughout the fight. One of Bradley's key observations is the danger of Barrios landing the left hook on Ryan Garcia. While Ryan has developed his own left hook effectively, he remains particularly vulnerable to this punch when facing a skilled opponent. Bradley references fighters like Devin Haney and Oscar de la Hoya, who excelled offensively with the left hook but struggled defensively against it. This tactical insight highlights the critical importance of defense, ring awareness, and adaptability in what promises to be a fiercely competitive matchup.
You get buzzed by the left hook. Barrios isn't a bad puncher. He's a pretty good, solid puncher. But the left hook is dangerous to punch with Ryan Garcia with the left hook. However, I've seen Haney do it. You know, I don't know, for some apparent reason, guys that know how to throw that left hook, they sucker for left hooks themselves. I remember De La Hoya being a sucker for the left hook as well. You know, they're really good at landing their left hook, but shit, they don't do well with taking one in return. But the punch for Barrios is the right hand. And he will have opportunities to land it on Ryan Garcia, because Ryan, he shoots his jab and he brings his hand back low. And then he stands up tall as well, so he's always having his, chin, straight up in the air. And, most of the times he'll flick the jab out there or shoot the jab out there, and then he looks to get out of range.
Ryan Garcia reflects on his recent training camp, admitting he struggled to maintain hard training for more than 2 consecutive days, with his body resisting running and workouts. He monitored his blood and health markers, realizing the lingering effects of past habits, including a 30 pounds weight gain that hadn't fully left his system. Ryan recalls being caught by a double hook in a fight, not truly hurt, but watching it later, he felt disconnected and uninterested. Determined to improve, he commits to himself and his father, vowing to show his best version every time he steps into the ring.
Because in the training camp, I couldn't train hard or good for more than 2 days straight. My body would be like rejecting a run, rejecting anything I was doing. It was like, damn, like what's wrong with me? I kept checking my blood, I kept checking everything, like, whoa, something's going on. Like, I didn't realize that, all the stupid shit you did throughout the year, it's hard to get out of your system in 2 months, and you're 30 pounds up. And your body ain't gonna be moving like a system. So it was just a big disconnect, but I didn't realize it at the time. It was just like, I gotta do this, and I tried to make way what I had. He caught me with a shot.
Oh my God, a double hook, short hook, caught Ryan right on the chin, dropped him.
It was more of a push on the second shot. He caught me one shot and then kind of pushed me, knocked me over.
Max Kellerman and Robert Garcia offered candid reactions to the announcement of the upcoming Ryan Garcia versus Mario Barrios fight, emphasizing that training and preparation matter more than raw talent. Both noted that while Ryan possesses elite skills and natural gifts, his recent training habits have raised concerns. Garcia specifically highlighted that inconsistent discipline in the gym and reliance on informal or distracted training methods could limit Ryan's performance in the ring.
With his dad, which I'm not saying the dad is not, the dad brought him through the amateurs, but when he left his dad or went to seek a different trainer, before he came back to his dad, he went through 3 different trainers. Wow. That means all 3 are not good enough to, they're all 3 are the best trainers in the world.
Here's the question. Did Ryan Garcia ever allow those trainers to be the boss?
That's why he's back with his dad, because he's the boss. That's why.
Yeah.
Look, Joe Goosen, I know Joe Goosen. My brother used to train with him. He's not gonna just let you get away with stuff like that. Derrick James neither. Eddie Reynoso doesn't need. He's made so much money with Canelo that if you want to come to me, it's gonna be under my rules. And if that didn't work, then Ryan's back. So that's I give that big advantage to Barrios to even put.
Max Kellerman noted that talent alone does not guarantee success at the highest level, especially against a well-rounded opponent like Mario Barrios. He stressed that the fight will test not only Ryan Garcia's natural ability but also his focus, work ethic, and adaptability under pressure. Robert Garcia echoed this, emphasizing the need for structured training and a disciplined routine to fully maximize Ryan's potential. Both analysts also acknowledged the importance of Ryan's father returning as a guiding presence in the camp. They agreed that strong coaching combined with consistent effort could help Ryan overcome previous struggles with preparation and mental readiness. The consensus was clear. While Ryan's talent is undeniable, his performance against Barrios will largely depend on how seriously he approaches training and whether he can maintain focus throughout the camp and into the fight.
And Big Baby Miller pointed it out, because there's no structure. And hopefully that'll happen with Zuffa Boxing, and I am a part of Zuffa Boxing, full disclosure. The first fight coming up on the 23rd.
Oh, congrats, man.
But you need
So
some
I got
kind
you guys
of.
on that card.
There you go. You need some kind of.
Right?
So the undercard has not been announced yet, but yeah, we could talk about what he's
names, but yeah,
But we need some kind of structure. In the NFL, the guy has to sit there for the media interview. He shows up on time. Yep. He's got to do it. Yep. And to give you an NFL analogy, think about the Broncos, right? When they had Russell Wilson over there, and he had his own office and everything, and it was nothing. It was dysfunctional. Then they hired Sean Payton.
Cut it out.
As a coach, that's like going to train with Goosen or going to train with a world-class trainer, right? And you knew as soon as Sean Payton got there, ain't no one's going to have their own office.
That's a wrap for today's video. Stay tuned for more updates, and we'll see you next time.